Do
This
is I'll just
conference will now be recorded.
again refresh the things, right? So program basics. Okay, so program basics we are talking about. So we directly don't jump into Python. Is you'll not get that basic knowledge. Okay, so as I've told you, we will get people from different backgrounds. As we get people from different backgrounds, first of all, they need to know what is a program. Okay, so what is a program? What are the program basics? What exactly people do to write a program? So all these kind of things they need to know. So that is why we will try to put that basic things first. Okay, so to start, I will always start with a program definition. What I'll start with? I'll start with a program definition. So whenever I say program, so what is a program? A program is a set of instructions along with the data. So what is a program? A program is a set of instructions along with the data. Along with the data considered as what? Considered as input. Considered as input. So set of instructions along with the data considered as input that are to be processed to give the output that are to be processed to give the output. So as I've told you already, when we say input, input is something which is given. Input is something which is given. So when you say processing, you are writing some logic. You are writing some logic. You are developing some logic. What you are developing? You are developing some logic. So after that logic, what you get ultimately, you will get the output. So what I'll do today is I'll take a real-time use case, one small use case I'll take. So with that use case, I'll tell you what exactly I'm talking about. Okay. So the real-time use case is, okay, for example, my client gave me a task. Okay, so my client gave me a task. So who is my client? My client is some shop owner or something. So what you want to do is you want to create a small app. You want to create a small app. So what that app will do, so that app will take the inputs, process the inputs, puts out the output. Sir, what you are saying, sir, again same thing only. I, P, and O. Not only now, not only today I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about this throughout your course, because those are the important things. I, P, and O. Okay, so let me create that use case, or let me work with that use case. The use case is, okay, so employee, okay, employee, right? So employee needs to get a pay. Employee needs to get a pay for his work based on hours. Based on hours. Employee need to get a pay for his work based on hours he worked. Yes. Now, what is your common sense telling? Again, why I'm using this word common sense? Yesterday I told you, for programming, common sense is important. For programming, what is important? Common sense is important. So if your common sense is good, programming is very, very easy. Yes, I'll develop that common sense, don't worry. Now, what is the use case? Read. Employee need to get a pay for his work based on hours work. So my client has given me this task. Yes. So what I will ask the employer I should ask some questions. Yes or no? So it always starts with questions. Your work in the real time always starts with questions. Now client is asking you to do some app, right? So you he is asking you to create some software. So where he will start? He will start from, okay, let me, yeah, sharing now. Okay, so where the work will start from? The work will start from asking the questions. So what questions I will ask? What questions I'll ask? You can just tell me looking at that question. You understood the question? You understood? So in real time we call them as use cases. What we call them as? use cases. I'll give you all real time takeaways. So use case. So what is the use case? Employee need to get a pay for his work based on the hours he worked. Now one employee comes, he works for 10 hours in a day and he gets some amount. Yes? Okay. Now what you'll ask that client? What you'll ask that employer? How much is the amount per hour? Yes or no? What is the first input? Amount per hour. Amount per hour. Yes. So what is the amount that you are paying per hour? So per hour I am paying 550 rupees. You will say 550 rupees. You put that for 550 rupees. Okay. Now next I'll ask the employee now. So how many hours you worked? How many hours you worked? So you will say I worked for 8 hours. Now are these not inputs? Are these not inputs? So what you got now? You got, getting my point or not? So you got inputs. So what are the inputs? Two inputs you got now. So what are the two inputs? Tell me. Amount and hours. You got amount and you got hours. Yes or no? Okay. Next step. What is that I need to do? So what I got? I got the data. I got what? Data. So what data I got? Amount per hour I got and number of hours I got. I got data only, no? Yes or no? So after data has come, what is the instruction? Instruction here is instruction every time it is not clearly given. Like yesterday add 4 comma 3, never it will be given you clearly, but you have to understand from the use case. So what is the use case now? Employee need to get a pay for his work based on the hours worked. So what exactly you are going to do here? You are going to do a processing. Now tell me the logic for processing. What is the logic here? Payment is equal to amount into hours. It is as simple as that. Yes. Now what you get? You get the payment. You get the payment. What is the payment? Payment is nothing but 500 and okay, you can do the calculation. So 550 into 8, so 800. Of course, you don't have to do calculation in the real time. System will do. So 4,000, 4,400. So what is the payment finally? 4,400. So what is the processing going on? 550 into 8. So 4,400 the payment. Now you understood? Any use case you take, what will happen? What will happen? Three phases. What are the three phases? Input, processing, and output. Instructions may not be clearly given, but you have to understand with the problem definition, with the use case. Hope you are understanding now. So use case is employee need to get a pay for his work based on the hours work. So what is the input that I will get? Amount of amount per hour, rather amount per hour and hours. How many hours he worked. Okay. Okay, sir. Looks theoretically perfect. Now, if I ask you to write a program for this, now what you will choose? You will choose Java, you will choose Python, you will choose C, C++. So many programming languages are there. But we are here for working on Python. Now, Python programming is so simple that you can start working on it right away. Okay, so believe me, we are going to write our first program. What we are going to do now? We are going to write our first program. For many of you, it is the first day itself. So on the first day itself, we are going to write a program. That is how Python is so easy to understand. Getting my points or not? So what we are going to do now? We are going to write a program. Same, we will write a program for. Okay. Same thing. What we are doing now? We are going to write a program. So use case is ready. Use case client has given. I have designed the program. I will design the program. Okay, before designing the program, what I will do is I will give you the steps. I'll give you the steps. So steps in program development. Steps in program development. So what are the steps going to be? The steps are going to be, the first step is design the program. What is the first step? Design the program. So what is the first step going to be? First step is going to be design the program. So what we have done, now, we have designed the program. So what is this design, sir? Basically, design is like knowing the steps, knowing the flow, knowing the steps, knowing the flow. So how we'll know, sir? Designing is algorithm, generally made by what? Algorithm and flow chart. Algorithm and flow chart. So for every program, I don't require algorithm, I don't require flow chart. But initially, for some programs, we will do it. So that you can understand the program. Why, sir? Why you are saying all this? In no other institute, they'll say all this. The main complaint of the students is, sir, I have finished the course. I have finished the course from number one institute in Hyderabad. They will come to me. They will say, sir, I finished the course, but still I don't know where to start. Still, I am not understanding the logic way what I have to keep here. This is a complaint to me from many students who have finished the course from different institutes also. What is their problem? Their problem is they know the basics, they know the programming, they know the concept and everything, but they are not able to put that in a program. Why? Because they did not understand the steps. They did not understand what steps. No one is going to teach all this. Everyone will start from program one, addition of two numbers, subtraction of two numbers, palindrome, prime. We don't know this. So now Rohit Sharma is hitting sixes. Virat Kohli is hitting sixes in USA, West Indies. How? Because they made their basics perfect. That is what my idea also. If I make your basics perfect, automatically you'll write. Yes. So no student from my institute should go out and say, I learned there, I don't know how to write the program. No such complaints from my end. Getting my points? Okay. So when I'm saying the steps, so that is why before writing a program, I'm asking you to learn the steps. Steps in the program development. What is the first step? Design the program. Up to now, what we did, we designed the program. How can the design be better? If you understand the point better, if you understand the use case better. If you don't understand the use case, if you don't understand a concept, will you write an exam perfectly? No, you can't. Why? Because you did not understand the concept. So that is why I made you understand the use case first. What was the use case? What was the use case? Employee need to get a pay for his work based on the hours work. You need to understand that concept first. Then you design. With the design, you can code it better. Easily, you can code. Yes. So algorithm. So what is algorithm, sir? Algorithm is nothing but a step-by-step approach. What is algorithm? Step-by-step approach towards a problem. Step-by-step approach towards a problem. Okay. Now three steps only I will say because I, P, and O. Okay, so what is that required for me? I, P, and O. So I for P for O for three steps enough. Okay, first step, take what you take first? Take amount, comma, hours. Amount, comma, hours. Simple. I'm not going to make a theory out of this. Just to understand. So it is not required. When you go into a company, they don't ask you to create an algorithm, create a flow chart. No, that is abstract for you. So because if you, so suppose for example, uh, movies are coming. So what movie latest hit is Kalki. So now the director went to Prabhas, and did he take any dummy movie to him and shown him? No, he told the story. What is that? That is nothing but algorithm, the flow chart. Once the algorithm and flow chart are better, then what happens? Cinema will be a hit. Hope you're understanding my point. So the story he narrated is very, very perfect. So that perfection he has shown because he understood the movie better. He understood the movie better. He understood what to do. Then he created that movie. Then he put that digital arts and everything. Then the movie has become super hit. How? Because this design part was perfect. Same thing happens in programming also. See, in programming everything is taken from real life only. It is nothing that program is something like alien science or some rocket science or something. No, it is very, very simple. So first you need to understand. That is where people lack, right? So that is where people will start directly writing the program. No, if they directly write the program, what they'll get? They'll get nothing. So what they'll do? They will take the algorithm and flow chart. Okay, with that their programming knowledge becomes better. Hope I'm clear. So why design is important, you understood now. So why design is important? To make the program better. To make the program better, initially we also, for every program, suppose if we are writing 200 programs in this whole course, in the 200 or 300 programs we are not going to write algorithm flowchart for everything. Wherever required, I'll tell you. Hope you're understanding. Okay, first step is what? Take amount and hours. Take amount and hours. Second step is what? Process means multiply amount and hours. Keep it specific. Keep it straight to the point. No need to write multiple steps. Keep it straight. Inputs, processing, output. Input, processing, output. Input, processing, output. So problem number two, what happens? Maybe inputs will increase. Maybe processing logic may increase. Maybe output may increase. Number of outputs may increase. That's the thing that happens when you go into the programming. Hope the things are crystal clear. Okay, what is the third step? Third step is nothing but show the output or pay. Display pay. Use that words, that's it. Pay, you are paying. Hours, you are taking. Amount, you are working. Right? Hope you are understanding my points. Clear? Are they clear? Algorithm. Okay, then what is flowchart, sir? Flowchart is nothing but how the flow is going. How the flow is going. Now, for example, so first input flow. Input flow means what we should have? We should have A comma H. We should have A comma H. So then what should happen? Then processing should take place. Then processing should take place. What is processing? P is equal to A into H. Then what should happen? Then output. So output is nothing but so print of something like P. What is that print? I'll tell you. Hope it is clear. So first design should be very, very specific. If you are not having the design perfect, anyone from civil engineering here? Civil. Okay. So civil engineering. So civil engineering. So what they will do? So they'll first design on a blueprint, isn't it? Or they directly go and build something. No, they'll first put it on a paper. So they have some tools like AutoCAD and all those. Well, mechanical also will do that only, right? So anyone from mechanical? Okay, you know AutoCAD and all. So what the AutoCAD and all? They will design first. Then they'll have a blueprint. Then they will go on to the field. Yes or no? So this design part is that only. Is that clear? Okay, I may be wrong in mechanical civil things because I'm not from mechanical or civil background. So please excuse me if I'm doing anything. I mean, if I'm saying anything wrong. So that is all my knowledge. That's it. Yes. Now listening knowledge, seeing knowledge. That's it. Okay. If I'm something wrong, please correct me. No problem. Okay. So first is designing the program. Then what may be the next thing? Designing is over. Execution. So in simple words, directly I will not use this word execution. I will say develop the code or write the code. Coding is important, no? The computer has to do the job. So for computer to do the job, what I have to do? I have to write the code. What I have to do, sir? I have to write the code. So or write the code or develop the code. Developing, writing, same thing. Is this clear? Design is completed. Now what you have to do? You have to write the code. Sir, you said Python is easy. Show us the program. Okay. Let me write a program. Simple, very, very simple. Amount amount is equal to 550. Simple mathematics. Hours is equal to 8. Okay. Payment is equal to amount into hours. And then I will say print of P. Believe me, this is your first program. This is your first program. You have completed your first program. Now tell me, is this program easy, simple, hard, complex? It is very, very easy, right? So Python is very, very easy when you compare with Java or anything. And don't think that every program will be like this only, right? So I'm not going to exaggerate the things. I'm going to say that the start will be simple. When the start is simple, you can go into the things very, very easily. So that start we got. So you wrote your first program. For some people this is the first day and they have written the first program. Yes or no? So how to do this in software, which software and all, we will do it later. Yes. Okay. Now the story is not over. Movie production is over, but it should be released in the theaters. Then people have to clap it. Yes or no? So many things are there. Then what is there in the program to do, sir? Next, you have to check for the syntax errors. What do you have to check for? Syntax errors. So what do you have to check for here? You have to check for the syntax errors. Is that clear? What do you have to check for, sir? You have to check for the syntax. What is the next step? Checking for the syntax errors. What you are going to check for? Syntax errors. Okay. Check for which errors? Syntax errors. So writing code, 3 lines, 2 line, done. No problem. But that movie should be a hit, no? Taking a movie anyone can take, but how quality, what quality you should maintain in that and all, that is important, no? Now check for the syntax errors. Is that program correct or not? Then what is syntax error? First of all, syntax means the rules and the guidelines. The rules and the guidelines. So when we say rules, right? So I'll just take you back to English. So we learn English in our childhood, no? So in English, what will be there? Noun, pronoun, verb, adverb. So if you have to talk good English, these things should be perfect. Yes or no? What is that we call grammar? For English, grammar is important. For programs, syntax is important. For English, what is important? Grammar is important. For program, what is important? Syntax is important. What is syntax? Rules, guidelines, rules to write the program correctly. So this A should be here, 550 should be here, H should be here, 8 should be here. The sign of multiplication should be perfect. So you cannot use any other sign. Suppose if you are saying A into H, system will not understand. System, see, in mathematics it is okay, but in here, what you have to say? You have to say A into H. So you have to use some operator. If you are not using that operator, it will give you syntax error. Hope my point is clear. Yes. So syntax error means the errors that have to be the errors that have to be corrected. The errors that have to be corrected before going to the next step. Yes, you're understanding my point. So you are checking the grammar. Is the program grammar correct only? Is the program having any syntactical errors? Any syntactical errors. So if you are to be a better programmer, two things in program should be perfect: syntax and semantics. Syntax means the rules. You have to follow the rules. Semantics means your logics. Semantics means what? Your logics. So syntax and semantics are perfect means you are going to go to a better place in the industry. Yes. So as a programmer, you will be survived. You will be survived a lot. So you are not like a non-programmer. Non-programmer jobs are always in danger because AI may take it over. But programmer job, AI will not take it over. AI is writing programs, but that program is correct or not, you only have to say no. Getting my point or not? So don't feel that coding jobs will go. I have never heard coding jobs are taken off from a company. I have never heard. So coding jobs will never be gone, right? So you need to make your AI stuff. So AI to be better. So how to use that AI? I'll tell you. Don't worry. I'm here to guide you with that also. How can you use AI in your programming? That also I'll teach. Sir, in demo you did not tell this. No, in demo if I tell you that, it will be like impressing you. No, I'm telling you that in the first class because I will help you with AI also. How can you use that AI? How can you use that AI in programming to make your code better? Okay, right? So one thing that is told by one of the persons, his name Tesla owner. Who is the Tesla owner? Name Elon Musk. Elon Musk once said, you can check there. You will not be replaced by a person, okay, who knows programming. You will be replaced by a person who knows programming plus AI. Means how to use AI. That is important. So I'll also guide you in that. How to use AI, right? So don't worry. So I'm there for you. You just relax and practice. That's it. Listen, practice. Listen, practice. These two things I want you to do. That's it. Okay. Next, checking for syntax errors. Why need to check, sir, check for syntax errors, sir? If you are not following the rules, the program won't be correct. Yes or no? If you are not following the rules, the program won't be correct. If the program is not correct, how will you get the output? That is why this step is important. What step is important? Checking for the syntax errors. Once you check the syntax errors, the next thing that you need to do is you need to test the code. What do you need to do, sir? Test the code. Test the code. So what, sir? What is testing means? Do I need to a manual tester, automation tester? No. I'm going to tell you that you need to execute the code now. You need to, if there are no syntax errors, what you have to do? You have to check for the answer. You have to check for the output. How to execute and all, I'll tell you. Don't worry. So what you have to do now? Test the code. Testing the code means if you are testing the code means you will get an answer, right? Yes or no? Now, if that answer is correct, okay. If that answer is wrong, if that answer is wrong, you have a logical error. What do you have, sir? You have a logical error. So check for which errors? Logical errors. This is the main problem, everyone will write the program, everyone will learn the syntax, everyone will write the program perfectly, everyone will get the output, everyone will get the output, but what they fail, they fail in the last step. How, sir? How they will fail in the last step? They will write the logic wrong. That is why I told you, right? Syntax and semantics are important. Not only program grammar is important. So program grammar perfectly, but when you are talking, that grammar is not in place. What will happen? Your English is not perfect. Hope my point is clear. So what is important here? Logical errors, if there are in the program, you will get wrong output. You will get wrong output. Now, for example, I'll tell you. Now I want to add 8 and 3. Okay. I used, instead of Instead of plus, instead of plus, I used 8 into 3. Now tell me what output I'll get. I'll get 24. What you are expecting? 11. Yes, you are expecting 11, but you got 24. What is that? Logical error. Where you made a mistake. Instead of adding, you multiplied. You made which error? Semantical error. You made which error? Semantical error. So semantical error means logical error. Simple. In simple terms, if you say it is a logical error. So 99% of the people in the industry, I'm not saying students, in the industry also will make logical errors because they cannot be perfect. Even your AI will make logical errors. It may not understand the question perfectly and it may give you the answer. It may give you the answer. So it may be logical error. So what is your job there? Your job is to correct the logic. What you are going to learn here in this course? The logics. The core Python is all about understanding these logics. Those logics you can apply in Java also, you can apply in other languages also. Because mostly everything are same, logical wise. Semantics wise, everything is almost the same, right? Only syntax is change. That's it. That is why I told you one language if you learn means you can learn any language. I only learned Java, but I myself learned Python. I myself learned AI programming, data analysis, MERN. How? Because one program will give the path. That is same for you. If I learned, you are even smarter than me. You can easily learn. Yes, getting my point or not? Okay, so I learned this before the technology world. I mean, before, so at that time, on 1 GB per day. When I was learning Java, 1 GB per day. 1 GB per day, sorry, 1 GB per month, not day. Now 1 GB per day, no? So 1 GB per month. At that time, no YouTubes, nothing. They were there, but not, I mean, YouTube was not there. YouTube was in 2010. I finished my Java course in 2006. Okay, so 2006 I finished my Java course without any of these YouTubes and all I learned. Maybe that is the case. I'm surviving still now. Okay, so then I learned Python. Then I learned Python in 2016, something like that. Okay, so in that way, one language if you're perfect, everything will be perfect. Yes, so I'm not going to learn, or I'm not going to make you learn Java and all, but I will make you learn Python in such a way that you will easily understand the other languages also. Okay, getting my point now? So what are the steps that you saw now? Done. Steps are done. First step. First step, design the program. What designing of the program involves? That does not involve any practical things. Let me tell you. That involves some theoretical understanding of the use case. Yes or no? Am I confusing you or am I making it clear? Yes, because this is important. So the question, what question should not arise later? Sir, I learned the course, but I am not able to write the program. Even this one I learned, I heard from a person who has finished the course and doing the job also. Sir, I'm getting tasks, sir, but I'm unable to put the code, sir. Why? Because you did not learn that perfectly. Once you learn it perfectly, everything will be easy. What is the first step? Designing of the program. Designing of the program involves theoretical understanding of the use case. If at all required, you put the algorithm, you put the steps, you put the flow. Put the algorithm, put the flow. Put the algorithm, put the flow. For first few programs, if you do that, the other programs will be very, very easy. Directly you can jump into the program. Second step, writing the code. Writing the code requires what? A programming language. What programming language you are learning, sir? Python. Sir, Python you learn, Java you learn, doesn't matter. The things will be the same. Third one, check for the syntax errors. How to check, sir? I'll show you. Check for the which errors? Syntax errors. So what do I mean by syntax errors? The errors which are coming when you are developing the code if you are not following the rules. If you're not following the rules. If you follow the rules, no problem. If you don't follow the rules, then only you'll get the problem. I'll tell you where, what to follow, what not to follow. If you do this, what will happen? If you do this, what will happen? I'll tell you. Yes, clear understanding I'll give you. Next, what you have to do, if there are no syntax errors, if you think that your program is not having any syntactical errors or anything, you have to test the code. Testing the code means what? Is my program giving the right answer? If the program is giving right answer, okay, well and good. If the program is not giving the right answer, what may be the issue? There may be logical errors. When you get the logical errors, you'll get the logical errors when you are doing a wrong logic, when you are keeping a wrong logic. So 99% of the people will do a mistake there only. Program they'll write, they'll get the output, but they will write a wrong logic. They'll write a wrong logic. So the wrong logic will get them wrong result. Wrong result will give them lesser marks. Yes or no? Lesser marks in the sense not the physical marks. So marks in the program. Yes or no? So 5 or 6 use cases, test cases will be there. So it will pass in 1 or 2 test cases. It will fail in 3 test cases. Interview fail. Okay, what is this test case and all? I'll tell you later. Don't worry. Is my point clear? Yes. So what are the steps in program development you understood? So by the way, you already designed a program. Okay. You already designed a program. What is the program that you designed? Program for paycheck. Program for paycheck. So they don't call salary in other countries. They don't call it salaries. They'll call it as paycheck. Paycheck. US standard. So you designed a program for paycheck. Yes. Am I clear? Okay. Now, what is this 550, sir? What is this 8, sir? What is this multiplication symbol? What is this symbol and all? These are all the components of Python programming. What are all this? Components of Python programming. What are all this? Components of Python program. But before going into components, we need to understand the data. We need to understand what? Data. So first we'll understand the data, then we'll go into the other components. Because I always feel personally, data understanding is very, very important. If you are not understanding the data, you are not understanding programming. Yes? Okay. So today we will try and finish the discussion on data understanding. Okay. So whenever I talk about data, what are data? Data are the raw facts. Data are the simple. Data are the raw facts. Data are the raw facts. Whenever I say data, data are the raw facts. Raw fact means meaningless facts, meaningless information. You can say no problem. What sir? Why you are saying meaningless and all? Okay. Now let me just write one simple number which is like 2101864 1869. Now what is this? Somebody may think that it is currency. Somebody may think that it is a population of some country. Somebody may think in some other way, right? But this number, I will call it as data. I'll call it as data. So now why you are calling it as data, sir? It has no meaning. It has no meaning until you insert an instruction to it. Until you put an instruction to it. Yes. So what you have to add now? You have to add a instruction. I'll just add one small instruction. Put slash after 2 and 0. I gave you instruction and I said you put a slash after 2 and after 0. Okay. Now what I gave you? Data plus? Exactly. Data plus instruction is what? Input. Data plus instruction is what? Input. I gave you data, along with the data I gave you instruction. So combinedly they are called as what? They are called as inputs. They are called as input. Yes or no? Yes? Okay. Now, after that, what we need to do? Exactly. Only three things you have to do throughout your career. I should say, not only this course. Throughout your career, you are doing three things. What are they? Input, processing, output. Input, processing, output. Input, processing, output. So, as the programs increase, number of inputs will increase. The logic may increase. The number of outputs may increase. Yes or no? Okay. Now follow the instruction and do whatever it says. 2 slash 10 slash 1869. Now what it looks like? Exactly. Now you understood, we added a meaning. We added a meaning. So data is meaningless. You got information. What you got, sir? Information. So you are saying it's a date. Of course, output. I'm not saying no. Output is nothing but information. Information is nothing but meaningful data. What was data? Meaningless information. Try to understand. Data, information are same. I'm not saying no, but there is a small gap. What is that? Processing. If you process, it becomes information. If you don't process, it is still meaningless information, data. Am I clear? Okay. Now tell me, what is the specialty of this date? Exactly. It is MK Gandhi birthday. You know who is MK Gandhi? We don't see mother and father daily, but we'll see him. Where? డాడీని మమ్మీని చూడంగానే ఈయనని మాత్రం చూస్తాను రోజు, అవునా? అఫ్ కోర్స్ డిజిటల్ వచ్చిన తర్వాత తగ్గింది, బట్ స్టిల్ వి అట్లీస్ట్ ఒక్క నోట్ అని ఉంటుంది జోబులో. ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? ఎస్. సో నౌ యూ అండర్స్టూడ్ వాట్ ఈస్ ద ఇంపార్టెన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఐపీఓ. Input, process, processing means what? You just follow the instruction. Instruction may be clearly given sometimes, but in real world the instructions are not clear as this. Yes, so you need to understand. That is what is designing of the program, right? Design, write the code, check for, right? Next, next, right? So what we'll do is we will understand the things about the data in our next session. Okay, hope everyone is clear of today's session, right? So we have written one program also. So practical also we did literally. Of course, we did not write it or we did not type it, but we wrote a program. So that is the importance of this particular programming courses. So you will be more practical. But to make you practically oriented, I need to make make your basics strong. Yes, if basics are strong, nothing will take away, right? So basic strong undi ante everything will come onto its place. Yes, yes or no? Right. So thank you so much. So last 5 minutes, you can have any questions. If you have any questions, any queries, you can ask me. Right? Okay. So we'll stop it here then. If you don't have any questions, so we'll stop it here. So we'll meet tomorrow with more discussion on data. So data we will again discuss in detail. So what kind of data elements we have in the program, and if possible, we will start with the Python specialities. Okay, some of the specialities we should understand. So tomorrow, if possible, we will write program on a software also. So I'll tell you. So if you have laptops, you can get them tomorrow. I'll tell you from where you have to install it, how you have to install it. Okay, I can assist you tomorrow. Okay, right. Thank you.